Aries, welcome to your tarot card reading for November for general predictions. Getting all your upcoming predictions for the month so you can set some intention for your month. Please go ahead, hit subscribe to Hangman Tarot. Go ahead and like, share, and follow, as well as hit that bell. Let's just get straight into things, Aries. We're going to find out what's going on as far as your current self, any month theme that we have upcoming, and anything really influencing your month, any challenges, adding to any of your situations as far as your job, your just general stuff. Okay, so job, material, spiritual, health, any accomplishments you may have, just the ins and the outs of your month of November. So we are going to get into this reading. All right, so just currently in a state, where are we at? Currently, we're just going to vibe on just like where we are currently as far as energy, just kind of where we are as far as feeling. Energetically, just a theme right now for me, for you currently as yourself, just in general, is you do inspire others. So make sure that you're paying attention to all of the things that you do, because the inspiration that you're giving to other people, I mean, that's a huge responsibility. So make sure that you're adding to that and you're always taking advantage of the fact that you are aware of this. There is some sort of a new beginning in your current state. So this could have something to do with money, financial. It could have something to do with your bank account, business, however that resonates for you. And it could just be an opportunity to maybe start a family, have a baby, get into the groove of things, because you will be in a fertile place. As far as the theme of your month is definitely releasing old energy or toxic, what's toxic to you. You're going to be releasing those types of things, especially out of a relationship or just out of your life in general. Let's get into anything that is influencing that. I want to find out what's influencing you, letting go of any kind of toxic, what you would consider toxic relationships or situationships for your own self, or toxic anything. Okay, influencing that is definitely wanting to just really belong. Okay, you feel like sometimes you're really great at learning, you're really great at educating yourself and all the information that you get, but the only conflict that I'm seeing kind of like around toxic relationships is you not feeling actually like you belong. It could even be like you just not feeling like you belong in these types of situations, or you feel like, hey, this is toxic because I can't be a part of it. So however that resonates, however that aligns. I do feel like by the ending of the month, you're going to get into a place where you're a little more happy with that situation, feeling a little more content, especially when you start letting go of the things that don't serve you, whatever that means for you. And make sure that you do that no matter what, set intentions for that. Any challenges that are surrounding this current situation. The only challenge I have is there's just a little bit of energy going into your visions or your goals or your spiritual. I just dropped. Hold on. Yikes. And that's with our 3 of fire. That's in our reverse position. And then our magician. Yeah, again, just that confidence thing, just knowing that you can do it, because you have all the tools. You may just not be in a place where you're ready to use them, or you may just not be ready at all in general, because you want to make sure that you're really prepared. And when you're prepared, you feel empowered and kind of push through and get into those new beginnings. But the only challenge that I do see that kind of occurs is definitely having to do with work, something you're passionate about, or maybe just feeling like it's overall exciting, or, is this meaningful? So just make sure to check in with those things, especially when you're trying to expand on what it is that you're envisioning. You want to make sure that you are always changing and growing, yes, but you want to make sure that you do it prepared. So, okay. Let's get into, what do we got next? Let's find out what's going on as far as business in upcoming November. Financials, adventures, maybe travel. What do we have as far as that for Aries? Let's find out all that we can, any accomplishments surrounding it, any passion projects, something we really love to do. The overall theme for your job or for whatever you do for a living is going to be growth. So you have this it's like a very open energy, and it's a willing energy. And you're really proud of your desire to, explore and to grow. You're extremely proud of that. That's something that you're very experienced at, something you definitely are trying to do. But just know that the opportunities are going to be there in November for self-development. So make sure that you are doing that and you're really feeling into that energy, because you are open, you are willing. So it's just a matter of time, night of Earth. So definitely in November, organize, being responsible, and just really supporting your visions, your ideas, supporting your harmony, because there will be a little bit of not as much self-esteem. Again, the self-esteem keeps coming up, especially with that 6 of fire in reverse. It's just indicating to me a little bit low in energy when it comes to feeling balanced or feeling that harmony within your own self. So make sure to design that around you. Let's find out if there's anything challenging that's really going to challenge you as far as your job, your finances. And financials look good. The coins look good. I don't see anything there. I feel like it's going to be a really reliable month. If anything, it's going to be growing. So, there's progress here. The biggest challenge is just the dependency on other people, maybe the dependency on materials. Maybe you just depend too much on even illusion or the ego of things. So make sure that you're checking in with that, because you don't want to feel like you're over it, especially when you're in a place of growing. So you have lots of growth headed your way in November as far as your finances, your business, and whatever it is that you do that you're experienced at. Just know that it is probably just the ego that's going to fuck with you. So it's not going to be anything other than that. Okay. So anytime you're like, man, I feel like something's going on here, that's definitely just our little minds like really taking things away from us. Okay. So don't let the ego, don't let illusions eat away at your success or your finances or your coins. Okay. Let's get into it with our next. Spiritually. Where are we at spiritually? Just the state of November as far as spiritual. All right. Okay. Withdrawing. Definitely. I think you've been withdrawn, though. I feel like you definitely have stepped aside to take some self-discovery time or reflection time. But just know that that's not a completely accomplished, or it's not doing your work if you are irresponsible and get stuck in it. So make sure to check in with yourself, because in November, it's just indicating that maybe you went into it too far. So just kind of withdrawing, and any influencing things that are around that is just going to be something to do with the truth, or something to do with being outspoken when maybe we shouldn't have been, or maybe you're just too loud, because it's a very immature situation or influence. I don't know what that is, because it's not very clear. It's not very concise. It's very foggy. The mind is, especially when we're talking about whatever it is, when we're dealing with this, especially spiritually. It's not something that you're expressing or you're communicating either. And any challenge here is definitely going to be a conflict of melodrama, or just like when you're reassessing it, and that's probably why you're withdrawn from it. Every time you go over it, you're like, oh my God, because you see the drama of it, you're seeing the mistakes in it. And that is a huge conflict, and it has changed things up for you quite a bit. So you definitely have withdrawn. And again, that was just to get some mentorship on the inside, but you got stuck there. So now you're kind of isolating, kind of cutting people off even. What's the likely outcome of that? Okay, so both in reverse, we got our 3 of air, 6 of water. It's such a shame, because in November, this could, if you were to come out of that isolation, or if you were to communicate whatever it is that you need to communicate as far as your spiritual ties or your upsetness, or like where you are, I feel like you definitely could get recognition for that. And I feel like you definitely have been diving deep into the childhood stuff, the nostalgia of it, and that really pushes you through your hard times. But that's not enough. You are talented. You can collaborate with pretty much anybody. So that's what you should be doing, but you're kind of withdrawing. So that's a huge issue. So making sure to set some intention to work on that withdrawing or that hermit energy, so you can get out of it and that you can move forward and find your progression, because you don't want to sit still, Aries. You are too bomb diggity. No. We don't want to do that. Don't do that. Okay. Let's just get an overall state for November. And we'll just quickly go through that. And for love, there's a love predictions. That'll be at the end of this reading. You can click on it and get your love predictions for November. Okay, so just this entire state of November and what we have upcoming for any immediate concerns that we want to look at along the lines of this entire reading so far. Okay, so the overall theme here for me is just celebration or just stability. Where can we be with stability as far as it being an adventure or having meaning or it being exciting and passionful? So there is some sort of a celebration headed your way. So that's exciting. You might be able to get into a place where you get out of that withdrawnness. But the overall theme here is that contentment or getting into that place where you can really celebrate stability. I mean, safety. I mean, it's all very, very important things here. I feel like any personal energy that you're putting towards anything definitely needs to be celebrated. You definitely need to be fucking recognized. And that's kind of a thing. Anything kind of influencing this or, making this just something nagging at you here, there is some sort of a challenge. And it's lack of determination. That's the only thing really nagging at you. And any information that is coming in is making things a little bit harder for you. So you're resisting things because it's really making you feel like I'm exhausted, I'm burnt out. I just would rather, fight about this later. And this is definitely something that you're very aware about. Very aware, very aware. Now, again, this could have something to do with your spiritual energy, just your energy in general. Could have something to do with work, your passion, a love affair, maybe some sort of a relationship that you've been dealing with. Who knows? What you really need to know here, though, is that this is progress, whether we think that it is or not, whether we think it is negative or positive. There is progress no matter what. Okay. So again, just know that you are on the lucky side of things and you're progressing and there's new beginnings and there's always a welcome sign, ready for you to come over. Let's start a new beginning. There's nothing wrong with having a new beginning. Okay. Something that is fading into the past, there is a King of Wands in reverse, and that is just indicating to me maybe somebody you're dealing with as far as a relationship or situationship or some kind of person that you love or they love you very much, whichever. I feel like the compassion was lessening. There was no understanding. There was no trust by the ending of the situation that was in the past. And this is definitely some sort of a connection that became kind of passive because of the intensity. Okay. So somebody had very intense feelings here and they bowed out. Okay. Anything influencing around that would just be the fact it came to an ending and there was no communication. And basically, if you want freedom in that, you're going to have a conversation in November. This person will be coming back in. I don't know if it's necessarily them reaching out. So you may have to reach out, add to that connection. You don't have to keep it. You can just add to it and, close it out because it's still opened up. I mean, there's no recovery in it. You haven't bounced back from shit. Yeah, bounce back from shit. All right. What's the circumstances around that situation? Oh, whoa. Power reverse. Okay, so yeah, that was like a huge realization. So there was a big reveal in that relationship. There could have been a lot of information, a lot of change from whatever happened here, because this really opened up the eyes of the people within the relationship and around it. So there was a huge reveal. And so again, once there's a reveal, yeah, sometimes we go into that hermit energy. We go into the hermit mode. So huge life change. And again, it might not have been something that you were pushing for. I don't think either of you were probably counting on this tower to kind of like fall and cause all this unexpected chaos. So it could have been kind of a curveball even. You could have been like, whoa, where the fuck that come from? Well, we know where that came from. The human in us. That's right. The human in us. All right. Let's get into anything that surrounds upcoming straight into November. It's just looking like, again, it's this new beginning energy. It's just really kind of like protecting itself around you. And you're aware that you need to be welcoming of a new beginning, because there is a new beginning for everything here. Okay. And you can be kind of dreaming about it. You can be like taking a leap of faith into it, whatever that might mean. It is terrifying for you. But just know, if you do this, you could potentially get into a place where you're back in this friendship, or you're back in the community of things, or you just really come back into a celebration for a moment, have a conversation, end whatever you need to end, because there is new beginnings, a lot of new beginning stuff and energy for your month of November, which it rocks. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, get out of that hermit energy, come back to those connections you need to release, and then figure out your new beginnings. Nothing wrong with that. Biggest fear here is not being forgiven. Okay. It is upright. I feel like if you're communicating this, it's going to be forgiven. Okay. I feel like any sorrow, which is scary, anytime we're vulnerable or we feel like shame put upon us, we're like, oh, darling, I don't like it. I don't like this feeling. It's changing me. Well, see, you're sorry. I'm sorry. We can heal. Yes, there's nothing wrong with healing. There's nothing wrong with having a little conversation, you know, adding to the flexibility of a relationship, adding to that flexibility, or the adapt. We can adapt to change within relationship. We just have to get into a conversation about it, if that makes sense. Okay. And that is definitely having to do with just kind of clearing up the mind, clearing up the mud or the muck. That is a super nice way to get out of your month of November and head into the next month with a clear head. Okay. And your hope is you're really wanting to be supported. You really want to be supported financially. You are definitely hoping on some sort of safety, obviously, and reliability as far as your physical or the ego, even, or the exterior, or your home life, maybe. I feel like you're very focused, not overly, I think it's just right, but I think you're very focused on the business of things. And just, again, in the home, you're probably really hermiting. So just trying to create, transform, and grow. So you have a lot of great energy. Make sure to check in with those things that could stand in your way, though. Okay. Likely outcome. Likely outcome is that you are going to be working on being present. And no excuses. You're definitely just going to really work on being present, and, you know, not adding to I'm over it, or, you know, not getting upset, and just get busy working. We got to calm our busy bee, and we got to focus, and we got to be present, and we got to be right here. So there will be a little bit of information that does come in. If you take on this information, you could definitely find some sort of willpower through it. But if you resist it, if you don't recognize it, it's not going to add balance to anything. So again, just making sure that you are on top of things. You don't want to be in a confusing place, okay? Because you are knowledgeable. You are a respectful person. You have like all these goals and visions. You just have to get out of your head, okay? All right. Enjoy your beautiful month of November, you beautiful Aries. I'm going to get out of here. Please go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Of course, it really helps the channel. And then add to that, add your notifications. Don't miss out on anything here by clicking that bell. Okay. Other than that, check out your love predictions. And those are going to be at the end of this reading. So go ahead and click on that video. And I will see you later. Enjoy the rest of your month. Bye.